Hello, future people. Welcome to Getting Tabled. I'm Jason the Bruce, and today we're definitely not going to talk about Alien. So today I'm going to do an unboxing of a board game called Nemesis. This is a game that was originally on Kickstarter. It's been out for a little while, to be honest. Out long enough that I've seen some fairly significant reviews. I almost backed this and backed out of it because budget was kind of tight at the time. But honestly, I've heard nothing but good things about this. Now, obviously I made a joke about it at the start because it's definitely not Alien. It's definitely not. It is. It's, from what I understand, it's Alien in its feel, but it's its own thing. So I'm looking forward to opening this and actually getting a look at the real thing for the first time. What's inside of this? So this is by a company called Awaken Realms. It was made by Adam Kwapinski. And I think Rebel is who published it. Or it's the other way around, but I'm pretty sure that's the publisher. If I'm wrong, I do apologise on that one. New box smell. I don't do that as often as I know I should. Alright. Good. They do give you an idea of what should be in the box, so that you can check what is missing, if anything. I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to skim through. So your rooms are all modular for the actual game board. This looks like it's quite in depth, but for a game like this, I don't think that's a bad thing. Yeah. On the back, rule summary. Every board game should do this. And quite frankly, every tabletop game too should provide a summary. Something that's quick and easy so you don't have to go through the entire rulebook to find things. Short, quick, most common things you need to know. Additional room rules. More additional room rules. That's the same sheet. Interesting. I've been provided with that twice. I wonder why. Interesting. Maybe there's a typing error or something on it. I'll have to have a closer look at that later. So these are some of our rooms. Give you a bit of a close look at those. Decent thickness in the cardstock. Another couple of rooms here. Some tokens. And the intruder board. Again, bit of a look at the artwork. More rooms. So there's a decent amount of rooms. Clearly you're not going to come across everything every game by the look of this, which will help it feel different all the time and help extend the life of the game. Okay, so these are cards for the specific characters. I'm not 100% sure what these tokens are. I will find out at a later stage, obviously. More tokens, more characters. There's our mysterious person that I said I didn't trust. And I'm actually just noticing this now. They actually give you a picture of which mini is them. I like that. Now, this does have betrayal mechanics in the game. We've got some doors here. I'm not 100% sure what that is supposed to be. Box stand. Take a cool picture of your game box. Oh! It's a stand to display the box itself. That's interesting. So on the back, it wasn't really clear what it's supposed to be, but it's literally just a stand so you can show the box off. That's interesting. I've not seen anybody do that before. Okay, and now we have our game board. So I'm going to move the box for a minute. So, just to give you an idea of the board, we're looking at roughly 3 foot by 2 foot. Roughly. I will get some closer footage of this and actually give you an idea of how it lays out. Back to here. I'm always a fan when companies do this and give you something to actually hold the minis themselves. Alright, I'll get you down a bit closer. So, got some tokens here. Not 100% sure what these are. It looks like they're noise tokens, because I don't know if that's going to come up clearly. It's a person that's hearing something. Not 100% sure what these ones are. Oh, it's fire. It's a flame. We have some dice. A little dice bag. Interesting. I'm missing... I don't have anything in these 2 boxes. Now, this is interesting. From what I understand, this is a literal scanner. There's icons on the cards and so forth that won't actually show up unless you put it in here. So this is an interesting mechanic I look forward to having a closer look at. I think they slide in from the top by the look of it, because there's a little icon here. I suspect that you will want to be very careful with this, because I suspect it would be quite fragile. It is nice and thick, but you could very easily delaminate that if you were rough with it. So I would be very, very careful. Up here, I'm thinking these are card holders for each player. I suspect they're wound tokens of some kind. They are clearly for the bottom of your minis bases. No idea what they are. Standees, so there's obviously some stuff that's a little different. All right. Now, these are PVC by the feel of them. But it's your usual board game mini feeling stuff. Like, this is not hard plastic. But I'm certainly not dissing this. I mean, it should be fairly obvious just by looking at this under the camera, the amount of detail that's in here. Quite frankly, the grill alone is quite amazing, let alone everything else. And it doesn't feel... Honestly, it doesn't feel overly fragile. I certainly don't see any evidence of anything being bent, which is something that can be an issue with some board games. It's certainly a better quality stuff than what I've seen from your cheaper board games. I would assume that this is definitely not a facehugger. It's certainly something crawling on the ground. There's quite a few of those. Speaking of something crawling on the ground, this guy is just all kinds of creepy. Alright, getting into some of our heroes now. Quite nice. In his exosuit there. Bit of a mechanical wheelchair. Feels very sci-fi. Scale-wise, it looks like it's roughly about 20 mil, perhaps. Maybe 25. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to grab a Bushido Mini, which is true 28mm scale, and I'm going to measure this up and actually get an idea. So, this is a Bushido Mini. I think without even putting them side by side. Oh, actually no, they're about right. So these are a true 28mm scale. Which I only point out because some people do genuinely care about that. Well, a lot of people genuinely care about that. But the scale of your minis in a board game doesn't make a huge impact to how it plays. The bases on these are really, really something. I'm pretty sure that's our Mrs. Creepy I Don't Trust You. Like really, really crisp detail. Very nice. In all honesty, I'm quite impressed. I'm curious what is supposed to be going in here and what is supposed to be going in here. Alright, so this next one has all of your big stuff. I'm going to tease and go for the smaller stuff though. Very, very, very nice. Looks very similar to the first one that we looked at, but a very different pose. I'm not saying that it's the same type of alien, because they wouldn't have a different sculpt if it was the same sort of alien, but it's similar, is what I'm saying. bigger version of that. So this one's obviously upgraded again. Like, you can definitely see where the inspiration comes from. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that you can't, because clearly you can see what inspired it. But it is very much its own Alien. Like, I don't look at this and say, hey, look, it's Alien. Hey, look, it's Predator. Like, this is its own thing. It's just clear where their inspirations came from. And quite frankly, I'm very impressed with what I'm looking at. Something bigger again. Looks very, very different from the other ones. Now, I don't know if these things are upgrading as they go into more bigger and monstrous creatures, or if they are just different types of the same creatures. Lore-wise, I don't know the answer to that, but I suspect that as I look into it further, I will find that out pretty easily. And then finally, we have the Queen. Again, very much its own thing. I love the little babies down here. That's a really, really nice touch. And a bit of machinery that they've kind of taken over. I'm just not entirely clear what the machinery used to be, but clearly it's kind of screwed now. Oh, the machinery is holding down a hatch. She's torn it open to let her babies out. That's not... I like that. It tells a story. I really like that. As much as I'm calling this the Queen, I don't know what she's called in game, but very much its own thing. It doesn't feel like the Queen from Alien. Again, you can see where it's inspired, but it's like got a stingray for a head, sort of. It's really, really unique. I like it. Now, we've got cards in here as well. So, these are item cards and coordinate cards and so on. Items. Some sort of status type thing. Actions. The intruder attacking. No actual label on that one. Bringing this back into view, they have allowed room in the box to actually put the rooms. That is a nice touch. Up here, empty space for sleeved cards. So if you sleeve all of this, it'll obviously be bigger, and therefore you will need more room. That's very clever, I suspect. Yep, and they've done the same thing on the other side. So, they've actually thought ahead with this packaging. Because let's be honest, when it comes to board games, getting everything back into the box can be a bit of an issue. Because this is very rarely thought through. If it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have companies like Folded Space and... there's another one that does MDF, like inserts for these sort of things. Battle Foam do them as well. I know that Folded Space do an insert for this. I don't know how I feel yet. Like, I'll have to open everything and have a look to see how I feel about how it's going to look. If I feel like I need to get something like that, then maybe I will, but I'll give myself time for that. Obviously, I haven't played it yet. This is just an unboxing. I've watched a couple of videos on how it's played and people reviewing it and so forth, and I have been very impressed by the reviews that I've watched. This is a game that I'm really looking forward to playing. Once I've actually had a game of it, which won't be for a little while, then I will come back to you and give you an idea of how I felt about the game. But that's going to take time. For now, thank you very much for watching. Play more games. Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time,